Hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gents. It's your boy. I'm in the top right if you can't see me, by the way, from where I normally am. Woo! I'm over here. Hey, Clarence. Hey, Gavin. Hey, Harveston. What's up? Quanta. Oh, man. My body is all sore, man. Gonna wait a couple minutes and then we'll dive right into the chapter. As per the usual. Hey, Young. Hi from French. French? Yo, welcome, man. Sen Peak Eto, 99 wrench. In the chat. Oh, fuck. So, the good thing is I have not been spoiled whatsoever on anything in the chapter, really. Obviously, I have an idea of what's going to happen, but I haven't been spoiled on anything. The only thing that I've seen is like the front cover with the drawing of Guts, and then, I saw the message from the company to the fans, so that's the only thing I really know. And I saw a little bit of like the preview that was promoted like a month ago, but I mean that's basically all things that we know were going to happen anyway. How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. Woke up 4 hours ago, got groceries, came back. I normally go to the gym around this time, but I canceled today so we could do the Beserk stuff. Afterwards, I might go shoot some ball. We'll see. Been working out? Yeah, been working out. Lost 20 pounds so far. So we feeling good. Ooh, Mr. Yorich. When you Christian, you think you deserve the mod? Big if true. What's up, Bryce? Yeah, I'll have the VOD for this uploaded onto my backup channel as per what you would expect. Definitely gonna have this one on the backup channel. No way I'm not letting this one go. So yeah, see you later, Ezra. Thanks for the dislike. Is Draco good at Draco? Is Draco good at basketball? Yeah, I would say Draco's solid. Jit's working for that guts bod. I mean, it's impossible to get that body, but yeah, I mean, I'm just working to get healthy, man. Trying to get back to what I used to be. It's gonna take a while though. Dritz versus Draco, who wins? So far, Draco has the winning record against me, but we're close, I would say. Draco's more consistent than I am. When I'm hot, I'm hotter than Draco, but I'm like a wishy-washy shooter. Do I want to give my expectations before we read? Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. Let me read a couple more comments, and we'll go ahead and give expectations, and then just jump right into it. What's up, Eve? Good evening, Dritz. Since I've been feeling hella emotional because of this chapter, I just want to say thank you for introducing me to Beserk. Oh, I introduced you? Let's go. But yeah, expectations for the chapter. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of crazy stuff. I think it's going to be, for the most part, a wholesome chapter. with the ending of what expectations are. We'll see some interactions between Guts and the Moonlight Child. We'll probably see some interactions between the Moonlight Child and Casca. Probably not much between Guts and Casca. Maybe like one scene. There'll probably be a transition to some other stuff. Maybe we'll see Skull Knight for maybe a page or two at the most. Probably show Farney doing something. And then the chapter will probably end on Guts meeting the Moonlight Child again and then him transforming. That's what I'm expecting. Which, if my expectations are correct, then I'll probably only have one criticism of the chapter. But I think it should be a good chapter. Link to the chapter. It's on Mangasy. If you go to Mangasy and go to Beserk, you'll find it. Let me go ahead and grab the link then. I'll just put it into the chat for people who don't have it. Boom. Okay. What's up, Marcos? Yo, it's actually one of the things that actually kind of touches me is because it's kind of weird how many people I've gotten to read Berserk and how many people think of me as like the Berserk guy, despite the fact that I don't have like a single Berserk video on my channel. It's a weird little effect that I think about it from time to time because whenever something Berserk happens, tons of people tag me. So I guess it goes to my agenda pushing in streams. But let's go ahead and dive right into the chapter. We'll talk about things afterwards. I was actually Sen's in chat, but Sen sent me this as like, it's obviously the last thing that Miura really worked on that was finished up by the assistants. You can really see like the blend between the art styles here. And I was actually talking to Sen. I think that we've talked about this before about like the switch from illustration to digital and how it kind of changed the way that everything looks in Berserk. You kind of see like a blend of that here between the Fantasia art style and then Guts from basically Conviction style Guts and a part of Falcon Guts. There's no white hair here. So this is pre-Berserker armor. It looks good though. Love the action. Love the lines. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, man. Good. Look at that chin. I could fall asleep on that chin, man. Jesus. Already looking beautiful. The Guts says, "Why are you here?" Tump tump tump. Look at them cheeks, baby cheeks. Oh, he's just going right for it. Oh, this is what I want, man. Oh, okay, I thought maybe skip the chapter here. The Guts is coming to the building. This is Guts. Perfect timing. Supper is just... Oh, look at baby girl here. Oh my god, I love this. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that face. Oh. Playing with Guts' hair, holding on to him. Yeah, that's got to be uncomfortable because like the these are like ridged on the outside, so he is probably sitting on some spikes right now, or just right outside of the spikes. That's got to be hella uncomfortable. Picked him up. We saw you on my island. Did you swim here? You see, Shirka's already kind of question marking this. Being on this island really means you're the Flower Storm King, Mistress Danon. Yes, yo, Shirka, what? Oh, there's the ignoramus again. Cheeks. Oh, whoa, crap, she just happens to show up right now. Yo, what is Puck doing to my boy? Yo, when did he get up there, man? He flew right up there. I can understand wanting to associate with these young men, but you really should dress your age, Granny. Puck getting punished over here. Oh man, Sherka. I love when Sherka gets embarrassed. Oh, is he looking for Casca here? He just grabs him. Sorry. Mind taking him up to Casca for me? Oh. I wonder. Interesting. How is she gonna react? Oh, he just runs right to her. Yeah, how did you get here, Miss Casca? Do you remember him? Oh, look, he's grabbing her face. Yes, I remember. The boy who'd come on nights when the moon was full. Well, do you remember how you were treating him? Nights under the full moon. Yes. On such nights, he'd suddenly appear before us on our journey and disappear by dawn, clinging to our casket as always. Oh. I thought he was the king of elves, that you had taken that form to take stock of us. So obviously that's not the truth anymore, so you gotta think, who the hell is this guy? If, it is true I was aware of your expedition, but that was due to a dream oracle delivered by your master Flora. I have also heard of these incidents under the full moon, but yes, that child. Your mistake was understandable. He is not like a typical child of man, and the purity of his odd resembles that of a fairy's. That he is able to set from this island is proof that he harbors no evil intent. It is the island's fate that has guided him here. Causality. The island's fate. The island also includes everyone who lives on it, such as you three, Shirkafarnas, and Casca. Looking like a Raftel here. You yourself are, of course, a sorcerer. Farnes wears my hand-me-downs, and Casca is garbed in elven hunting gear. Okay, that makes more sense. With that, the right making you three inhabitants of the island is complete. But above all, everyone here has taken you in. And it was your destiny that led the child to this island. Casca in particular seems to have a strong connection to him. Casca did this to him. As does he. Oh, God. I love this perspective. Oh, I could just stare at this for a long time, man. Jesus Christ. I love when Miura did this. You see time elapse here. Casca sleeping with baby boy. Hmm. Oh, look at that. Morning. Everyone's getting breakfast. Teacher coming in from training. About that, the flow of time on this island is muddled at best. Few days may pass here while the full moon still hangs in the night sky of the outside world. Why not spend some time together? Okay, that's interesting. Wouldn't that be nice, Casca? Yeah. Oh man, I would love. Look at him sitting behind this tree. He's just like an ordinary child. All the village elders going, dot dot dot. The sprites cannot sense even the slightest inkling of malice in the youth. The elves are far from guarded and are growing quite attached. Let us keep an eye on him for now. And that's actually good information to know. Yo, this crab is fucking puck up. And all this time, everyone's having fun. Guts can't come in. Hmm. Why is Casca so beautiful? It's so peaceful here, quite. It was peaceful here before, but those two have grown really close, like a real mother and child. I am sure him just being here is mending the wounds in Casca's heart. Perhaps one could say that living under one roof has made us family of sorts. Family. But. Oh my god, looks. Oh, he's on a waterfall. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, fuck. This is exactly what I've wanted. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, the motion into the waterfall, out. Yeah, I was about to cry. And I see this. My god, I love. Oh, Guts' body's so fucked up. Man, that is so significant. He is so weak outside of the armor that he can't even hold on to his sword. Oh my gosh, and his depth perception's so bad. Look at this. He tries to hit it, but he misses. That's so cute. We know he's been interested in the Berserk armor. I wonder if he's doing anything. Oh my gosh, my heart. Yeah. Oh my. Oh, I'm gonna start crying now. Give me a second. All right. Uh, uh, oh, this is so fucking cute. Everyone's looking for him. He takes the arm off of him, shoves him. Also, I want to say, I think these are. I think you can tell, especially here, that these are the sections that the assistants were finishing. You can look. You can see some of the line work here. It seems abnormal compared to what you would normally see. Same with here. That's a unique perspective. I'm sorry. I can't really like read it out loud. Oh, we're seeing Cass's inner thoughts here. Being like, this feels natural. Ever since I met him on that Moonlight Beach. No, as Elaine, I knew him before, even before that. I remember feeling something nostalgic, then affection, sorrow. But where? And then baby's gone. Oh my god. Holy shit. I had a dream under the full moon. I was a child embraced by nostalgic warmth. But when I wake from the dream, only a vague sense of longing remains. That too soon disappear. Holy shit. Oh shit. It's just. Man, when you think about it, this was the last thing he was working on. God. Man. Oh, such a beautiful panel. Jesus. Oh, shit. Man. A fucking amazing chapter. It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk, I'm not gonna lie. Mongodex version's a little cleaner, by the way, Dritz. Alright, I'll check it out. I'll check it out after everything's said and done. I'll write that down. So, this chapter has a lot of stuff in it. By the way, especially pertaining to Griffith here. I never would have imagined Miura was going for this right here. You sent me a link to better quality. Now let me go ahead and open it. Okay, let me go ahead and see. I'm not sure if it's gonna be completely obvious, but let me go ahead and go through it. I don't like the manga Dex's format, by the way. I don't like how this fits on the side. Let me get to that last page. Ah. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and where's my shit here? This? Yeah, it should be this. Go ahead and enlarge this so I can start talking to the chat. Get this out of here. Oh man, I'm probably gonna have to look into that chapter a lot after the fact, but one of the things that I love about this chapter is, I mean, it kind of gave me everything that I wanted. Um, in an ideal world, I would have liked for there to have been like kind of like a full chapter or two of just the family dynamic of what we saw. But I think this chapter did a really good job of just showing you how things changed over time. I really, really liked the sections with Guts and the Moonlight Child. So many things. The effects of the Berserk armor, which is one of my favorite things in fiction, by the way. I love the consequences that Guts has to go through with the Berserk armor. It's so good. Man. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, thanks, Abdel. I appreciate it, man. How am I? I mean, uh, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine. Another thing that I like about this chapter is that, I mean, it was obvious before for people who actually read into the fucking story about whether or not reborn Griffith had emotions, but you know, this chapter shows you all that you need. Shows all that you need. Yeah, no, I mean that's part of what makes it heartbreaking is that it's so wholesome, and you can tell. Man, I just it puts into context so much of why I talked about this before whenever Miura passed and like my twit longer, but like I mean this chapter itself just makes it all the more tragic because you know that Miura was he was preparing for the Big Bang essentially, and I hate it whenever it's something that I kind of felt. It's like a reactionary, compulsive feeling that whenever Miura died in May, and we all found out, and people were like, "Oh, what a perfect way to end the series! The way it works out, they're just all together as a family in Elfheim." And I just get pissed off when I read it because we know that Miura had plans to for this reveal, for Griffith's reveal, for the complete changing and revving up of the series, the confrontation between Guts and Griffith, how that affects Casca. There's so many things he wanted to get to, and it just couldn't. It just couldn't. Yo, 5 R's from Marcus. It says this chapter made me want to reread the series. I usually forget how much I love Berserk until reading a chapter. Probably the most immersive manga. No, it depends, but for me, yeah, I'd agree. Well, from the editor's notes that I saw, unless they're different from what you're talking about, Zoro, it's that there's nothing's changed as far as like the continuation of Berserk or not. Um, they want to do what they think Miura would want done, but there's no decision yet. They said that they apologize, but there's no new information. They'll tell us whenever they come to a decision, but there hasn't been one yet. We know that it's not over for sure, and we don't know if it's continuing for sure. It's up in the air. Now, personally, I don't know. It's a really difficult position to be in. I think that the assistants and company are probably going to take a while to see that to test the waters internally as to whether or not they think they're even good enough to continue or to give it a try. That's no problem, Eve. I mean, I don't care about double messages. It's fine. Let's see what you said. Eve, you said, I knew Griffith still had emotions, but holy fuck did it hit. I didn't expect to feel the sorrow for him of all characters. In a way, I too got swayed that he's a emotionless deity. Hmm. No, I mean, like, if you guys been around for a while, I've been arguing for a long time about the subtle signs of, you know, Griffith basically pretending, which is what he always does. He pretends. He puts on a front. The Rickard section makes it really, really obvious. I mean, there's still so much more to Griffith, still so much more to this. The three pillars of the story: Casca, Guts, and Griffith. There's more. Not making a decision is actually probably the best decision. I mean, yeah, I mean, it goes to show you that, they're taking this seriously because they're not stating right away, like, hey, yeah, we're going to finish it, blah, 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 or like just a complete dismissal of the idea, like, no, it's over, Miura's, we're not touching Miura's work. They're taking it seriously. They're going to weigh their options. They're going to look at all the things that they can do or what they can do for the series, which just shows you how much respect and love they have for Miura and Berserk. It doesn't feel like it's just some heartless corporation that's trying to squeeze the juice out of the series and capitalizing off of people's pain from Miura's passing. It really feels like, so far, it might not be the case, but what it feels like as a fan right now is that they actually care. Twitter trying to deny it by saying it was the Moon Boy saying it rather than fucking idiots. The Moonlight Child hasn't talked once. Let's see, Demi said, I would release some of the manuscripts from Miura. I wouldn't touch the original material, let it go with the rest of Miura. I can't. I mean, if they decide to do that, that's fine, but I think what they're doing is for the best, Demi. Like, I don't like the idea that, just because Miura is gone, that you wouldn't want to continue his legacy or do what he would want. And, like, obviously, if Berserk were to continue in the hands of a group of people, obviously it's going to be different, and there are things that are going to change. Miura's prose, what it feels like to be Berserk, it'll change, obviously. But I mean, the worst thing that could happen is really that they fuck up, they ruin everything, and then us as the fans just say that's not canon. Fuck you. Where Miura left it off here is that's the end of the story. But the bright side is if they give the story an ending to a satisfactory level, they've done Miura's legacy good. They've probably, if Miura's looking on in the afterlife, they've made Miura happy. It's a complicated subject. And it just depends. It's complicated. If they have no idea what the future of the story holds, then they'll have to decide whether or not it's worth continuing. If they have an idea or an outline of what Miura wanted to do, then that makes things a bit easier. But writing and piloting a manga is an extremely, extremely hard thing to do. But yeah, I mean, my general stance is also the same. If there was, or if the assistants, because they've known Miura for so long, if they know where he wanted to go with the story, then I'd be willing to give them a chance as a fan. I wouldn't hold them to anything. If they knew where the story was headed and knew like the basic beats of what Miura wanted to do, then I'd give them a shot. But if they have no idea and they themselves don't think they're good enough, then just leave it. Let this be the end. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a weird subject, Zoro, because Miura gets most of the credit, as he should, for Berserk. It's hard to place full faith into his assistants, but they were the people that are arguably the closest with Miura outside of his family, so they know him in more ways than we ever could. One of the things I liked is that let me see, where is it? At the end, it said in like the for all the fans of Miura section from the Young Animal editing department, it says Berserk's still the main priority, so and we just gotta wait. Also said, let me check out what you tweeted or what you shared to me. Berserk illustration by March comes like a line. I'm gonna save that as getting the image saved immediately. I think they would only do it if they knew they could. Like you said, they're not dumb and want to keep the integrity of the series. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. It really just comes down. I mean, I know like the assistants aren't as ready as we would obviously love them to be, but if they think they can do it, I mean, if you were in their position, how would you think? It's like you've been the assistant to one of the best authors of a story that's ever existed, and he's gone. And people are looking at you to either continue the story in his wake or just drop it. Imagine how much pressure will be on you if you decide to continue the story. You have to know what you're capable of doing. Yeah, I think saw the thing that you sent before, Sen, which is like just looks like some early art that Miura was doing prior to Berserk. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'm ready for the Miura video because in my mind, all I can think of is at the end of it's going to basically be something along the lines of look forward to what I have in store, and that's gonna hurt, man. That's gonna hurt. The thing is, we all know what we are getting if they continue. Do we? What are we getting, Edgar? Fill me in. Also, Dan Yin, I bought. I have to wait for my copy of this issue to come in the mail, but I did buy a pre-order this issue. I'm really interested to see which authors were paying tributes to Miura. I would love to see that section translated. But I would argue that isn't the rest of the story a bit doable though, like structure wise, or is there too many unknowns? I mean, structure wise, it's doable. I mean, Berserk, as we know, was entering into its final saga, or should have been, according to Miura's own guesstimates of where the story was going. So there are some tough things ahead that, to be honest, if you didn't have Miura's insights, then I don't know if, without completely making it up, if you were be able to do it justice. Like the kind of story that Miura wanted to tell with Skull Knight's flashback, his romance, Zod, uh, the rest of the God Hand, and you know, just as important as anything else in the story is what did Miura really want to do with the idea of evil? How did in his vision did he connect it all together? Um, we're fans. We look at the series all of the time, but even we don't know. So they would literally have to have the answers given to them or have already known. Because I don't know how you think of the answer to that without Miura's vision. The mangaka of March Comes in Like a Lion also wrote something to Miura, and the mangaka of Holy Land also wrote a chapter dedicated to Miura. He wrote a chapter. I would like to see that chapter. I saw the illustration because Sen sent it to me from Chica. Have I read the prototype? If so, was there anything you'd have liked to see carried over to official Berserk? The prototype? I don't really think there's anything like ridiculously out of place in the prototype that you know is any different than what I would see in regular Berserk. To be honest, Griffith's conclusion is the big thing they have to nail. I mean, yeah, outside of all of the world building concepts and not main characters, I mean, the biggest pressure if you were to finish Berserk would be to do a satisfying ending for Griffith, Guts, and Casca. Although I think that's more doable than the concepts that I like completely tying the story together. I think that it's a bit easier to focus and do the main characters well. Although, I mean, it's still a lot of pressure to do that, but I think it's more manageable. I think there are pros and cons. You say that if the assistants continue, even if it's not 10 out of 10, this isn't like a 7 out of 10, then it'd be okay. I mean, I mean, really, the only thing the assistants have to do is like, I think the assistants are in a situation where if they streamlined the ending so that they kind of covered like the minimal amount of things that obviously us as fans would be okay with that because we'd understand. The fact that Guts dropped his sword on Miura's last chapter is crazy to me. I mean, I mean, you guys saw that page kind of took me out. I loved it. I mean, so good, man. So fucking good. I'm gonna be rereading this chapter many times over. I can tell you that. It gives me a lot to think about. Again, it's my bias, but I think the assistants have discussed the future of the story numerous times with Miura. If the main ones picked up the writing skills as well, they can finish properly. I mean, yeah, for sure. Um, you would assume that they at least know something. I doubt Miura would hold them completely in the dark, especially, well, if not the assistants, then at least his editors, whoever is the editor for Miura. I'm you naturally you think he talked to them about something about the future, so there's probably some information they can go over and think about. It just depends. I mean, I'm like everyone else. I'm waiting for what they think is best, and I trust them. So far, I trust them. I have no reason to not trust Miura's assistants or young animal. They have my complete faith right now with how they've been handling things. Do I plan on making a series retrospective in the future? I mean, you guys know that ahead of the One Piece video I was making, I planned on doing Berserk videos to cover the future of the story. Now, obviously, that's changed, but I will still be doing Berserk videos for sure. There are things that I want to talk about and get across and show my appreciation for that still exist. Yeah, it's true, son. No, I don't. A script? No. Miura is not as well. If you listen to Miura, Miura is not as he doesn't detail everything out. He oftentimes goes by feeling. What do I think the last page was that Miura worked on just by looking at the art? I mean, kind of hard to say. I'm not an expert or an artist themselves. I think that Miura. I mean, what normally happens is you get like the storyboards for everything done, right? So like you draw basically like a rough sketch of the entire chapter, and then you go in and basically draw it. Um, I think that Miura probably had some of these things probably drawn in the future already. They probably just weren't fully refined, which is probably what the assistants did for the last probably several chapters or several pages. Do I still think Guts should live EOS? I mean, his condition right now isn't really weighing in whether or not he should die, in my opinion. I'm still on the board that I think Guts should live by the end of the series. Maybe not in the same way that he was before, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing in an interview that Miura said he had the ending in mind, but the difficulty was how to get there and draw it out. He never said anything about the difficulty in drawing it out. Miura did have the ending in mind. So there are definitely things that Miura had planned out, such as he knew where the Moonlight Child was going to lead to. He already knew that there was going to be another confrontation, which seems to be right here. What we've all talked about for a long time is the next serious confrontation between Griffith and Guts. And then moving into the final section of the story, Miura seemed to have in mind that yes, the story is coming to an end, and it shouldn't take too much longer. Which, if that's the case, then surely there existed something that he has a small structure, maybe not, but I would assume so. Well, Miura said basically, not strictly that he wanted a happy ending, but he couldn't envision like a sad ending for the story of Berserk, as it stood whenever he was doing the interview. But he would just let his subconscious write it out whenever he got to that point in time. Because Miura is very much a guy that lives in the moment. But yeah. Exactly, young. That's uh the chapter's extremely bittersweet. Extremely bittersweet. Oh man, my heart's kind of empty right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's there's definitely a hole there. How close do I think we were to the ending? Probably like 100 chapters or so, maybe less. I think I'm gonna end it here. I don't know. Art's in good hands, even if you can tell it wasn't me. Or yeah, no, I agree. And to be honest, I'm not like the integrity of the story means much more to me than just if the art is like good enough. I care more about what the writing is than what the art is, even though the art's a big part of the story. But in the situation is right now, we have to value the writing more so than the art. Jonathan, man, I don't know. I don't know if this comment's coming from like a place of ill intent or like Come on, man. Why don't I feel this way about every One Piece chapter? Go. Wait, Jonathan, how long have you been around? If you've been around for at least like a year or two, then you know why, man. I used to be like this. Well, I mean, not to this degree, because I've never cared about anything more in my life than I did Berserk, but you know why, man. Man. Since Hulk, well, you basically been here for a majority of the channel, John. Like, if you've been around since that long, then you know the answer. Like, I've talked about this, and to like, I don't know, it comes off weird phrasing that question in a Berserk stream where I'm just talking about Berserk and vibing, and it's trying to make it about One Piece. You know, it kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels weird, you know. Me and Ty scrapping about Oven's power level. All right, then you've been, yeah, it's like, so you've been around for a while. Like, well, what do you think, John? Like, from your perspective, why isn't it the same? I it's just kind of weird making this about One Piece, you know. You're memeing. That's even worse than John. Like, you're bringing up One Piece in the Berserk discussion just to meme, and it's not genuine. Man, come on, man. Also, everyone chill on John. Just don't. It's not that deep. It's just it is what it is. All right. It's just, you know. It's all right, John. It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. I get it. Yeah, I noticed that, son. I noticed it. It's exactly the same. I noticed that. And yo, roll. Just don't. There's no point. Don't bring up like in these discussions, man. Don't make it about anything other than Berserk. You know, like don't don't be doing that. It's it doesn't do anything. Yo, $5 from Donatello. Thanks, man. What made you pick up Berserk to begin with, and at what point do you think you fell in love with it? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how many people actually know this story. I think I've talked about it before, but you know, I didn't. It's not like I never got recommended Berserk. I wasn't in the community really. Uh, Before then, I didn't have any friends that I knew at the time were into Berserk because it wasn't a series that was on my radar. But one day, just like how it happens with a lot of the series that I get into or that I got into in the past, one day I was bored and I went onto a manga site and just like looked by category into like, you know, seinen, and I saw Berserk and I read the synopsis and I was like, okay, I'll give that a try. So I started reading it, and it didn't really take long for me to fall in love with it, to be honest. Although I have a contentious reading history of Berserk. I don't. I've said this numerous times before, but whenever I got to the eclipse, I got so fucking pissed off at the story that I stopped reading Berserk for 2 years. I went on my own Black Swordsman arc, and then I came back and reread it, and it was that was it. Berserk had my heart. Yeah, Eve Guts playing with his son. That was tough, man. Why don't I save my stream? So much content gone. Well, part of the reason why is that that's the reason why I have a VOD channel for when I do my streams now, because if you keep streams up, it fucks your algorithm. And I'm trying to get this channel prepped to do other things in the future. So I can't just be having like dozens of just, 4-hour streams of me just talking to people on the channel, because it does bad for the algorithm of the channel. I'm trying to reset that. That's why if you go to my channel now, for people that have been around for a long time, there's only like 10 videos up now out of like the 250 that I've done. I've gotten rid of all of them because I'm trying to change the way the channel is going to be in the future. It's not going to be a One Piece channel anymore. Just cutest moment in the chapter. It has to be him and Guts. It has to be. I won't take any other answer. Is there any chance we can get a discussion stream with Brago and the other people about Beserk? I'm pretty sure Brago wants to do one. So yeah. Now, when is that going to happen? I don't know, man. It could be at any point in time. Why did the eclipse piss you off the first time that it made you stop reading? Well, I really, really loved Guts and Casca, and when what happened to Casca the Eclipse, that was the first time I had ever read anything so dark in a manga. So I was just like, I wasn't like angry at like the quality of the story. I was just like fucking in my feelings and really fucking emotional, and I was like, fuck this. And I was like, I can't read any more of this. I don't want to know what happens next. And I just I put down Berserk, man. Can you link your VOD channel? It's in the description of the stream. Moon piggyback or Moon boy in berserker armor? Moon boy in berserker armor. Moon boy in berserker armor. Negative. Early in your expectations for 364, you essentially predicted the gist of the chapter, but mentioned that there would be criticism. What was the criticism? I still have this criticism, although I kind of elaborated on it about 20 minutes earlier about how it's not as bad, because I think that Miura went about a good way in doing it. I think that it would have been better to get a couple chapters of just the Moonlight Child interacting, like more outside of like a montage of things happening. Have there be a few moments between him and Guts, kind of like what we got in this chapter, but a bit more introspective. That kind of shows the family bonding and stuff like that. I think if you pace that out to be over a couple chapters, kind of like how we have like the Winter Journey, or all of those chapters where it's just kind of just like you're in the moment on this one section of the story before it moves on to the next part. If you have a couple chapters where it's just kind of just the Moonlight Child there and we got family time, and then you end it off with the Griffith transformation, I think it would have hit a lot more. I think it would have been one of the best sections of the entire story, because you can have so much introspection between Guts, Casca. I would especially have liked to have seen some more stuff about Guts. Guts thinking about, because Guts doesn't know the Moonlight Child is the fetus. I would have loved to have seen Guts interacting with the Moonlight Boy, maybe thinking about things to himself, seeing some connections between himself, that maybe some unknown love that he has as a father figure. We got great Casca stuff in this chapter at the end, but it's just basically just a bit more, Was the Moonlight transforming into Griffith, or was it something else? I'm kind of confused. Um Well, we don't know the exact answer as to why Griffith transformed there. I think like if you want to go completely ham, if you look in the last panel of the chapter where Griffith is crying, it's not a full moon anymore. Like part of the moon is waning. Like you don't see the full crisp full moon. So I think it might have been an example of just timing where the moon was no longer full. So the Moonlight Child's control over the body basically, it's not his time anymore. That would be my theory on it, as Morge would say, theory. Just I just want to say that you are the main reason I decided to read Berserk, and I can't thank you enough for it. Wish you the best. Hey man, I appreciate it, Mert. I'm just glad you enjoy Berserk. They said it was 2 days of full moon on Elfheim. No, yeah, but there's also like a kind of a montage of events happening. It's kind of hard to say how much time passed between them. I'll have to go back and look at everything in the chapter, but there was like a montage, so we don't know how much time has passed and not passed. Because we already saw that Casca already slept with the boy once in this chapter, right? And she was sleeping again twice. So that's kind of like 2 days, you know what I'm saying? He shows up at the night of one day, which is like one, and then there's an entire day of doing something, and then sleeps again, and then it's like the next day. So like the math kind of adds up, right? Have I read Kingdom? I've read 400 something chapters. Why the full moon though? If I remember correctly, the birth ceremony was during the full moon, a full moon, right? During a full moon, that's when magic is at its strongest. So basically, Griffith loses control of his body during that point in time, and the magic of the Moonlight Child is strong enough to take over. It's kind of like what you see in it's like a very much the the trope of moonlight turning magical things, werewolf stuff like that, things taking control of your body. Very similar to that. And the fetus was already extremely powerful before then, so but I think it's possible for them to separate the Moonlight Child from Griffith. If they were on their Inuyasha shit, then probably. But I don't know. I don't know. I've envisioned in my mind that maybe the Moonlight Child might die because it seems very sacrificial in nature. But it's hard. It's hard to say where it all leads. What my opinions on this last chapter? A fucking great chapter. But it's the it's I've talked about this as well. Is that the fact that the Moonlight Child is in Griffith's body adds complexion to the entire situation of Guts even wanting to kill Griffith to begin with or getting revenge is because if you hurt Griffith, do you kill your kid? Do you kill this child? If you find out that this child is in fact yours, what do you do? How do you move forward? That's a plot point that we have to find out about. When do you think Guts and Casca will find out the Moonlight Boy is their child? I don't know if they'll be able to piece it together by themselves without other people kind of informing them how things work. So maybe like a Skull Knight or even Griffith himself saying it. It would probably take one or the other. Just I think at this point, even unfinished Fantasia is solidly number three for me after Golden Age and Falcon. What about you? What are your thoughts on the arc overall? Well, I think that Fantasia, more so than any other section of Berserk, has the most down moments in terms of like consistency of quality. Which I mean, I'll probably talk about this if I do make an extensive video on just how Berserk's changed over time. But I think there were a lot of things that were troubling Miura during um the creation of Fantasia from a mental health perspective as well as a creative standpoint. I think Miura was going through a lot of things, which is why the quality of some sections of of Fantasia is questionable, like Sea God and whatnot. But where would Fantasia be for me? Below Golden Age, below Falcon. Uh, the only thing keeping it like for me to not immediately say number three is how much I love Lost Children, and Lost Children is a part of Conviction. So I would probably have to debate. Also, Sen, you're probably right. Casca might know now, based on everything. Which, yeah, actually, you're definitely right. Casca definitely knows now, or should at least have the feeling of what it is. So Guts should be the person that doesn't know. Yeah, King Zero is definitely we all know why he's doing that. But I think that's gonna end the stream, guys. I don't want this thing to going on super long because that's just the way it is. I'll go ahead and end it here. I'll re-upload onto my secondary channel. Um, so you'll be able to catch it there if you don't have it. Uh, I'll keep everyone posted through Discord and through Twitter or whatever if there's going to be a Berserk stream with Brago and the boys. But thanks for everyone for dropping by. Sorry I mean, you probably liked it, but sorry that I got emotional. Great chapter. We'll see what happens in the future. That's all I can say.